Hey everybody, it's old cousin Andy Jenkins and boss man Mike Filsame, and today we'd like to talk to you about product launches. We've got some cool free training. We're back with some free training because we like to do that free training.
We're back.
And just give you some free training on product launches is what we're all about. Now, let's just set the stage. Y'all, it's a heat wave here in San Diego. So it is already, it's very early in the morning. It's about 90 degrees and we have all the windows in the house open, and you can see right here, we got some fans off camera blowing it around here.
We got our biggest fans here and a big fan there.
That's right, and two little fans there. We're gonna talk about product launches. Specifically, we did a product launch, Mike, didn't we?
We did a product launch for Geekiness. Perhaps you heard about it. It was a very successful launch.
Yes.
One of our most successful launches, but in many ways, our most successful launch.
I think it was, on balance, the most successful thing that I've done for my brand, and hopefully you feel the same way.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt,
yeah.
Yes.
And so what we want to do is when we do launches in our business,
we do a debrief afterwards.
Yes,
we actually sit around and we review the videos, and we sit with the staff and we say, what did we do right? What did we, actually, we're saying to you, what did we do wrong? But that's not the conversation with our staff, right?
Yeah. And what could we have done better if we had to do it all over again?
Right, because we want to game up, go to the next level.
Let this become the new control, and how do we improve from there on our next launch? So you're going to be able to go behind the scenes in an exercise that we did with our launch to see what was our intention, what was the outcome, where did we miss, and where was the successes. And you're going to be able to learn this so you can apply it to your product launch. So,
because do you think product launches have changed?
I think they have.
I think just in this last 6 months they've changed, but they've been ebbing and waxing and waning and all those other words that I'm not really sure what the definitions are, but they sound good to say on camera. But they have changed. They've changed very much, and I think we knew that they'd changed. We didn't necessarily know what we were going to do about it, but we had an idea.
Yes, and there are some core elements to a launch that must exist.
Yep.
And we're probably going to be doing a couple of videos about product launches.
Yeah.
Over a little series
It's a big, broad topic, number one. Number two, I would say that product launches are in any business, whether you're an online marketer or you're a small business or your Apple computer, you're going to do a product launch someday. And it's going to be more than just acquiring income or what we call windfall capital, but it's going to establish your reputation and brand in the marketplace. I actually had a friend of mine come over and said, hey Andy, I want to build my brand in the marketplace. What kind of free videos should I make? And I said, you shouldn't make any free videos. Brands are built during the process of commerce. So way back in the day, 2010, when I did Video Boss, I gave
Brands are built during the process of commerce.
Of selling, right? Because you are putting forward what you're about in the context of your product, right? Ultimately, you're going to be judged by your customers, by the quality of your product. But in the process of going out into the marketplace, even if you don't buy an iPhone, right, the people are still judging Apple Computer in the way that they demonstrate and present the opportunity.
The entire brand.
That's exactly right. So in 2010, I wasn't known as the boss, and some people knew that I had video experience in my other life, but it was the process of launching Video Boss, the product, that I became the boss, the brand.
The brand, yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
And so that, aside from, again, the customer acquisition, windfall capital, it's about branding, and it also establishes you what your personality is in the marketplace. And I think eliminate everything else from the Geekiness launch, people know what we're all about at this point. You know what I'm saying?
And we were talking to a friend just the other day about the importance of launches, and some of the things that we said was that if you look at successful products and successful brands, they're successful because of the launch of their brand and the launch of their product. And as we said, you don't show up slowly.
That's right.
You
don't show up slowly.
Yeah.
Show up with a launch, which is a boom, right? The reason they call it a launch is because it's analogous to, a rocket taking off.
And I think that anything negative to a product launch in terms of marketing and business was that product launches were done as the business. So the product launch, and then there was a big sold out for 18 months or forever.
And you never heard from the person again.
Yeah. I mean, people don't create records or albums and then say, bye today and we're taking it off the market forever and delete it from your iPhone.
Well, so I think that's the first takeaway is that launches have needed to change. There used to be this, introduce the product to the marketplace for a very brief amount of time. And the reason that people did that was to create something called urgency by creating scarcity, meaning if you don't act now, you're never going to get it. We learned...
It's a powerful...
Oh, no doubt.
Powerful influence tactic that is used to get an incredible spike during the launch. So the thought was that if my launch starts like this on day one...
let me take it back. My thought, how about this? If I have a digital product, I can't use the excuse that only so many are available. Right. So that's the first thing is I can only afford so much bandwidth.
There's no supply and demand in terms of a digital product.
And then people got smarter and said, since this is a coaching program and I'm going to be working with you as you go through this, there's only so many people that I can work with at one time. And that's a legitimate excuse, but the problem is they would still stay open for 2 weeks or an entire week and their close would be the close. Well, honestly, if you hit that number of people that you were going to work with 3 days in, you should probably pull off the market. So even then, it was an excuse, but still weak tea.
Yeah.
So you and I took a different tact when it comes to urgency, and we'll talk about that in a future video in this little series.
We've got a great mind map for you. It's not just going to be Andy and I here giving just good content on a whiteboard. We actually have a wonderful mind map that we broke down our business.
We prepared something for y'all, guys. Isn't that cool? Yo, Sassy, show them that mind map. Can you show them that mind map? Look at that, everybody. Oh, it's a market. And look, there's stuff on it. A lot of stuff on it. Yeah, and so y'all...
We're going to cover it all for you right now in this video.
Take a look underneath this video and you will be able to get the mind map and download it for future reference. So first big takeaway is...
For the cost of free.
For the cost of free. First big takeaway is launches have changed. And some of the things that used to work for launches in terms of how people were positioning the availability of the launch have just... nobody's listening anymore. Nobody cares anymore. But I think for us, you and I could talk about launches forever. What we're going to do, folks, is we're going to take the next few videos and we're going to break it down like this. What did we do right? Because, we did some stuff right, and it's not us bragging.
You want to know the things that we did right so you could apply it, because the mistake is sometimes people see everything that's done in a launch and say,
everything about that is right.
If those thought leaders are doing it, then we should be doing it. And we've even had friends say, hey, I noticed you did this. And sometimes the answer is, it bombed. And sometimes the answer is, it was a pivotal moment in our launch.
And sometimes the answer is, we didn't even realize that we did that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you took that away.
Yeah, right.
Well, so in this case, we knew going into this that we needed to do one thing for our first video very right, and we're going to talk about that. Now, here's the thing you don't hear very often. What did we do wrong? And boy, oh boy, let me tell you, we could fill an encyclopedia full of that stuff. And that's important because here's something that Mike and I talk about all the time when it comes to split testing, right, and analytics. Every time I'm wrong, I make more money.
That's it.
Right? So every time I guess and I say that's going to be the better creative and that's wrong, well, I make more money because there's a control. Yes. Or even, and then if I'm right, I make more money. So it's a win-win situation. The point is, in my opinion, knowing what you did wrong lets you, that's a test result. And so you just know not to do that again.
Yeah, if you can't identify the problems, then you can't improve them.
That's exactly right. And then finally, in the ever ongoing quest to be more efficient, to have more fun, to adopt the lifestyle that we want and be proud of what we do, and also to bring our team along and have a bigger impact in the marketplace, we now, at the conclusion of our big debrief, we all say, what are we going to do next time that's going to be even better? And so that's the third part of this video. Now, we wanted to try to keep this a short video.
We're at the limit already.
We're at the limit, that's right.
No, we're jumping into the content right here.
Well, so let's go into the content. So, right here, Marketing Genesis, the 5 critical elements we learned during the Video Genesis launch. It's going to be a lot more than that, guys, but you know what? I had to put something in the mind map.
That's where we started.
That's right. Now, if we could do it over, what would we keep the same and what would we do differently? And let me tell you about that prophetic statement. If we could do it over, we are going to do it over. Not for Video Genesis, but we will make an evergreen version of Video Genesis. But we are going to continue to launch in the marketplace because A, we love it, B, it's good for the brand, C, and we're giving good value to people. And it is one facet of our business where Mike drew on the board, people made businesses around launches. No. A launch is a part of your business. You have to have other ways to generate revenue.
And so let me talk about the problem in that case. People are doing launches for the money in that case, and that's a big mistake. You don't do launches for the money.
Because the money, while it represents the thing that people think is most valuable, if you've been around for a little while, you realize that this becomes a tool. There are a lot of other things that a launch can give you that are more powerful and more sustainable than just the money.
Yeah, it's an awesome outcome side effect from the real things that you want.
Yeah.
You want to get an audience. You want to get customer acquisition. You want to build a list. You want to get your brand known on social media. You're launching your message and your brand to the world. And by getting all those things, the result, of course, is going to be this. But if you're not looking for that, then you're not building a business. If you're doing a launch to shut it down, then that's the only thing you had in mind, period, the end.
And that, trust me, that goes away.
It does. It gets spent.
Right. So next takeaway then is a launch should be a part of your business strategy to acquire income, to acquire customers, to build a list, and to perpetuate your brand, as George Bush would say, to catapult the propaganda.
Yes.
It's hard to believe that I remember that, but the things I remember from that man, yes.
Nuclear.
You
couldn't even say it wrong if you tried.
I can't even say it. I have to practice it. Okay, so critical components of a launch. Let's talk about video one in Videogenesis. And folks, what we're going to do is we're going to put a link under this video that will take you to video one. So if you want to hear and understand what we're talking about in context, you can just go ahead and click on that link. All right, so what we did right, and I think this is the most important thing before you start writing your scripts, before you turn on the camera, before you turn on ScreenFlow or Camtasia, do your slides, whatever, you have to have a 100% clear reason why that you're doing it, meaning what is the need in the marketplace, and a clear outcome for the viewer.
Absolutely. You need a starting point that has the viewer in mind. Many times, and look, we've been there where we've spoken to our friends.
I'm happy. I wear my sins on my arm like tattoos, man.
Where you start out saying, you know what would be cool? If we shot a video and did this. It's like, yeah, that would be absolutely cool.
Really cool.
Well,
so let me give you an example of what would be really cool, but not necessarily a great product launch. I've got at my disposal, like for Videogenesis, I've got friends at Lucasfilm, at Industrial Light and Magic, at Skywalker Sound. We could have brought the heat. We could have brought, A-game, big juice, and done amazing visual effects for Videogenesis. And we talked about some of these weird things, but we were like, but wait a minute, does that actually serve the customer? And so really what it comes down to, in the thing I think that we did well with Videogenesis, and you should absolutely make sure that you do with your product, is understand, let's just talk about it, the reason why your marketplace is in pain.
Yes, our next section here.
Right, and what your videos and ultimately your product is going to do to create a better outcome in the customer. So, here we go. What we did was, we said right away, right, this was our premise, this is the promise of our premise. There are 34 mistakes that video marketers make, even the experienced ones. Okay, so that was identifying the pain for the customer.
And the market.
And the market.
So we wanted to make a little call out to everybody that's doing video. You want to listen to this message.
That's right. Now the outcome for the customer, 100% clear, no waffling, was, and in this video, because I can spell, we're going to show you what they are and show you how to fix it. And then I remember the cut, welcome to Videogenesis.
And show you how to fix it.
That's right. So that was the most important thing, is that people literally within the first 30 seconds of watching our video understood that there was a problem, that we could identify with the problem, and that we could fix the problem.
It's the headline of the launch.
It really is. So step one, when you're creating your promise of the premise, you need to know what is causing the pain in your market. Not just that your market is in pain. You've got to be able
to... The critical pain element.
Yes, the thing that can't let them go forward, the thing that is preventing them from succeeding. Whatever it is, whether it's weight loss or wealth or relationships or whatever it is, there is a pain element that presumably you created a product to solve. Well, that's what the first step is in creating your message. Now, The second step, and this is a little bit more difficult for some people, is you have to know how to articulate the pain that the market is feeling. So you can say it, you're making video mistakes, but unless you can wear the scars along with them and take that, sort of like that empathetic journey with them and say, I'm one of you, they're not going to trust you as much as they could.
Right, and by, as you say, articulating the pain, when you break that down into two things, here's the rabbit hole you go down when that pain is not taken care of.
Right. This is the result of you being in pain.
Yeah, it causes this in your life, it causes this in your business, and here is the result of when the pain gets fixed, and then the result of that result.
Yes. Right. So in our case, what we did was we went out of our way to make a bad video.
We're going to show an example.
Yes.
So here's what we mean by
you're making mistakes.
Yeah. Does it look something like this?
Uh-huh.
You know?
So that was our way of articulating it, was basically saying, me too. You know what I mean? The bad way to say it is, I'm just like you, right?
And in the infomercials, what they do is they go to black and white, right? They go to black and white, and they show somebody like bending over, trying to get the vacuum under the chair, hurting their back, and then looking up and going like that. That's articulating the pain.
Now introducing the undershark.
Yeah, right. But that's what we did. We sort of went black and white by saying, here's an example of a bad video in our particular marketing premise.
In that way, that's demonstrating what they're going through, right? That's when you're having a bad day, part of your video has to acknowledge that you understand what it's like for them to have a bad day, and is this the thing that's bothering you? Is it causing this?
Does this look familiar?
Yeah. Articulating the pain. Okay, now step 3, and again, this is a little bit nuanced. Obviously, you have to solve the problem, right? You have to eliminate the pain. But you have to do one better. And this is something that has come from doing many different launches. The tools and information that you give them to fix the pain, right? And now they're not in pain. That same bit of tools and information can be used to elevate them. So you're taking them from this position, the suboptimal in pain position, right? So this is, here, I'll draw it on the board, right? Here's our customer experience. This is 0. Right? This is 100, which is good, and this is negative 100. So when you meet them, they are in all kinds of pain. So the job of your pre-launch videos is to not only bring them back to no pain, but the same information, the same tools, the same transformational...
Improve the circumstance, as you say.
You want to take them to something that they've never experienced before.
Yeah, so let me give an example of that. We talk about the acne example a lot. We can certainly talk about the pain that causes in life. So it's not just that you have acne and it hurts and itches. There's a pain involved with the acne, but so they're here.
Yes.
This is solving the acne.
Right, so now they have clear skin.
Yeah, this is proactive saying...
Let's actually say they have no acne.
Right.
Okay,
so proactive, we've identified the pain and what life is like with it, but now we've cleared the acne, we've cleared the skin. That is the solution to the pain. But what does the improvement of the circumstance mean? That means that now you can get a date. You don't have to, right? Right? You can get asked to the prom.
You spend less on makeup.
Exactly. You're not worried about in your professional career when you're talking to a client, are they looking at the pimple on your nose? That is called improving the circumstances beyond just solving the problem.
And so what gets them from here to here is the same thing that gets them from here to here. Your job is to let them know that the information and tools that you have can do both, right? So the mind map here, I call it the win-win, right? So by solving their problem, you're not only ending the problem, you're giving them tools to make their situation better. So in our case, what we would say is, hey, once your video reaches excellent quality, because we spent
a standard,
the first video talking about the geeky stuff, which is bad framing, bad exposure, bad audio. Once their message reaches what we would consider to be excellent quality, their message, now what they're saying is automatically enhanced because the viewer's paying attention and they're not saying...
They're not distracted.
If this guy is so good and he's so successful at solving my problem, how come he can't afford good video?
Yeah.
Right? It's that whole cart before the horse kind of thing. So we're doing pretty good here. We've gotten to what we did right. And what are we, like 48 minutes in? So the takeaway here is your launch's content should solve your viewers' problem by giving them the information and tools to fix the problem, and then let them use the same tools and information to improve their circumstances and move on to bigger and better things.
Solve the problem and improve their circumstances.
Live the dream.
That's it.
Living in the promised land. That's exactly right. Okay, so here's the next thing. Let's talk about what we did wrong.
Epic fail.
Yeah, so what did we just talk about? We just talked about giving our marketplace tools and information to fix the problem and eliminate the pain that they're in. Well, you and I mean, if you guys could only have been a fly on a wall during the launch, we were running as fast as we possibly could. And I've been in the film business a long time. I know what long days are like. We beat them in Videogenesis. Yeah. We set new standards for production. They call it production hell, right?
We were operating in urgent importance.
Yes. Critically urgent.
Yeah, which you don't want to. You want to be operating in not urgent important, meaning you've planned things out well ahead, and then the things that you want to execute beyond the good to go to great can still get done. Right, and that's where we fail.
That is so important. When you move so fast, all you can think about is what's ahead of you. You don't think about the different roads that you can take. You're like, if you've ever been late and you're like in a traffic jam and you're like, you know what, I know this route. I know that I'm going to be 5 minutes late, but if I run off and try to take a back route, I might get there on time, or I might get lost and be 10 minutes late, right? So we were always late.
Yes.
And we spent a lot of time teaching people how to fix their problem. What we failed to do was to ask the market to show us how our information is fixing their problems. So we were standing there in the videos and we were teaching them and giving them information, but what we did not do is say, hey guys, why don't you go take these tools, do what we say, let us prove it to you, put us to the test. I mean, that's a bold statement. Take what we're teaching you and put it to the test, and then come back with us and show us your videos.
Gather case studies during the launch.
Yeah.
That would have been an incredible outcome for us.
That's right, because we were confident in our information. And you should be obviously confident in your information if you're going to bother to do a launch. So why not let all these people that come, they're not necessarily cynical, but they're skeptical. Eliminate that skepticism. So just here's what we wanted to do, because we talked about it pre-launch, right?
Yeah, this was part of the plan. We couldn't get it executed.
We just couldn't get it done. We wanted to do a video improvement contest, right? So why would you do that? A, because it would prove that the information that Andy and Mike was showing them during Videogenesis actually works. B, now you've got a bunch of people out there that are talking about how they used the information from Mike and Andy from their free videos and that it actually worked. And then we were going to codify it. We were going to give it structure.
Break it down.
And put it into a contest. So now there's an official way for them to respond by dropping us their video so that they could say, hey, I did it, because people want that acknowledgement. So because we didn't do that, we lost the ability to show our audience how effective our information was when put to the test in the real world. Look, we saw it during the comments. Well, of course you guys can do good videos. You're Mike Filsame and Andy Jenkins, you know what I mean? You've got unlimited capital and high technology. And one person even said we spent $100,000 on one of our launch videos, right?
It was a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
We wanted it to look like a $100,000 production, but it was a $500 budget.
That's right. And so, we'll talk about this in the next one of these, but that's why we decided to shoot the second video all on an iPhone. But with that said, because we didn't have the time, and we made some bad decisions about the time to put it into the form of a contest, nobody came back and said, it's not just Mike and Andy that it works for me too.
Yeah, so we have all the proof now in Videogenesis in our Facebook group. Hundreds of videos have been loaded with what they learned. the takeaway is, wouldn't that have been great to have happened during the launch in the
Yeah,
in the
somebody that's on the
context of
fence
a
that's
contest.
saying, well, of course Mike and Andy can do it, but what about, there's a fun thing that we used to say to each other in our mastermind group, what about Norma Jean from Macon, Georgia? Can Norma Jean from Macon, Georgia take what you're teaching and put it to use for her?
Marilyn Monroe, for those of you that know.
There you go.
The regular lady from Macon, Georgia.
So on our to-do list, we had a video improvement contest as an important social proof mechanism. We actually had it. We had a checklist, we had a meeting with the team, and then the launch started. So our problem was we failed utterly because we wanted this high-tech solution. And there was a couple of people that approached us that said, hey, take a look at this tech, take a look at this tech. And then, we went out and we looked at this tech and we're like, oh, this is great, let's do it. And we waited for this high-tech solution that was gonna, it was like a contest generator kind of thing for everybody to work. We're gonna put it on our page, and it just never materialized, right?
And we were busy, honestly, and they were sort of beta.
Yeah. I mean, no offense to any of the vendors. I mean, their stuff works. There was some setup that we weren't anticipating.
They needed information back from us that we didn't realize was going to take us that long to get
Right,
all
we
that
thought
stuff.
we were going to flip a switch and turn on this technology, but no, we had to actually invest time in a position for it and get people to have calls to action and follow up. It was kind of like making a whole nother series of launch videos for the social proof element, and we just didn't have the time. So what we should have done, right, so, saying that you made a mistake and not learning from it is worthless.
Yeah.
This is what we should have done. We should have asked them to make a video and post the YouTube link in the comments on all of our landing pages.
Them being our customers.
That's right.
Nice and simple. Take the technology out of the problem and simply just say,
it's
hey,
this simple, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've done the pitch before. Hey guys, tell you what, we're so confident that this information can work for you, we're willing to put our money where our mouth is. Up for grabs is $10,000. That's right, $10,000. If you can make a video and show us that you're using our techniques, we're going to put your video into a pot, and the best and most improved video that wins is going to get a $10,000
a prize. Yeah.
I mean, obviously we thought it through. Yeah. That's what we should have done. And with that, here's what we could have done. So now, it's not just, it's not bad. We're hard on ourselves. It's not bad enough for us to say, this is how we screwed up, and this is what we could have done to not screw up. This is what we lost, right? From those sets of videos, we could have started a most improved video contest, and we could have hinted at it through the entire launch. We could have said, hey, congratulations, guys, we have a new runner-up. This person just submitted this video. Look at how good it is. And then we had a series, we had an 8-hour bossathon, which was a live Google Hangout style thing at the end. Could have been featured. And that would have been on the last day of the launch, giving a reason. People want to tune in to see the winners.
Yeah, American Idol, like
right.
Highest viewership in the last
is in the last one. So at the highest moment of urgency in our launch, which is the last day of the grand opening, we also would have revealed the grand prize winner, and they would have won $10,000. So we blew it.
We blew that.
We blew that. So I would say that, there's a couple of takeaways, right? So the first takeaway is a low-tech, imperfect solution is always better than a high-tech solution that never occurs.
Yeah, there is no perfect solution. That's the first thing that we have to understand. Any type of technology, you're always gonna have things that you have to settle for.
Yes.
So, and you really, especially in a launch, you want to get down to the lowest, the lowest geekiness, so that you can execute quickly.
So, and also the lowest geekiness has a tendency to break less.
Yeah. You don't want to be learning something, and you don't want to be, and you want to stay away from the betas, and you're going to be the first guy using that solution, all that type of stuff. Not during your launch, guys. Tried and tested technology that you've seen other people use. If it's basic,
put a YouTube link in the comments.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that summed it up. And in fact, a good friend of ours said, you guys have to do a video contest. Just tell them to drop the YouTube link in the comments.
That's it.
And we're like, oh, well, no, we are
Yeah, the launch is the epitome of the 80-20 rule. Use it because 80% of the thing, 20% of the things you do are going to give you 80% of the results.
Yeah.
If you start focusing on that other 80% of the things you do that give you the 20%, and then it's breaking, it's taking away from the core things that you need to be focusing on.
I.e., done beats best every damn time. All right, and so something else here. You want to give your audience a reason to consume and use the training you give them, and we call it generating testimonials on the fly, right? And this is something that you and I were thinking, how cool would it be for somebody that has never launched their product, doesn't have any customers, and is looking for a mechanism to prove that their information and their product is good, to use a technique like this to get a bunch of people to show up and say, this guy or girl knows what they're talking about.
So, guys, what Andy is saying here is there's a major question that comes up when people are launching a product. Testimonials are paramount. They're very, very important. So people, they go down two avenues. They say, well, how do I get testimonials if my product is just coming to the market? And then there's one way that people do, and you should never ever do this, and they go to Fiverr and they hire morons to read a script and say, I've used Videogenesis in my marketing, and it is, and they actually, I've seen it done before.
Yeah, we've seen it done before on products that haven't been released yet.
Yeah.
Right? I've used it in my marketing. Really? I'm pretty sure that they're creating this product after they close a shopping cart.
Yeah,
you know?
Right,
I mean, it's like...
Just, okay, so we know.
So don't!
So don't.
Yeah.
So how do we solve that problem then? How do we get testimonials for our product if it hasn't been released yet?
And let's be clear about something. We're not necessarily asking for testimonials about a product. What we're doing when we do a launch, Mike and I put out some of our best information as part of the launch because we're unafraid, right? And all we want, this is the phrase that you're looking for in your comments. If this is what they're willing to give me for free, I can't imagine what the product will be like. Right? That's what you want. And let me tell you how to get it is you get somebody that says, I used Mike and Andy's free information
or this technique in the free information
to create some sort of outcome result that was better than before. Thank you so much for your generosity.
There it is. Give your audience a reason to consume and use the training, and it gets you case studies and testimonials on the fly, and feature that.
We blew this so bad. We so screwed this up. All right, so here's one other reason to do this, right? You want to give them one breakthrough technique, and if you can do that, you will keep their attention through the rest of the launch. So one of the things that I realize, and you will realize this as a topic matter expert, is that you don't necessarily know when you're giving your information what they're going to take away from it, right? And you see this happen all the time where somebody says, hey, you know what? You told me to do this thing. I did it this way and then discovered I could do it this other way too. Whoa. And you're like, yeah, right, we said that, but I guess we didn't hit on it hard enough. Sometimes what happens is your customers show up, they use your information, your viewers show up during a launch, they use your information, and boom, now you've got a whole new thread of what's important to them going on. So really what you want to do is make sure that you give them one breakthrough, and what it comes down to is you've got to be very specific about the information you give. Don't just say, hey guys, if you do a better job at creating your videos, you're going to have a better result. No. You got to be specific. All right, so oh boy, now let's talk about going to the next level. Now, so let me ask you a hypothetical question. I'm gonna tee you up here, Mike. If we could rerun Videogenesis, the Videogenesis launch, which, 7,000 plus customers, several $1 million in sales, some pretty goodwill in the marketplace, a good launch platform for Mike and I have teamed up, and we've got other products coming down the way. Being able to be ourselves and having the will to test different price points that are not big, providing value without expectation of compensation. Would you rerun Videogenesis the exact same way for our next launch? Would you take it out, or there's some things that you would want to do differently?
In terms of the giving the free content away? No, I would do it identically. Identically. I wouldn't change a thing in terms of that.
Okay, so now that's the point, and I knew that the answer was coming, is that we recognized that the key, and this is part of our level up strategy, the key to selling products is to have your customer consume your content during the launch. 100%.
Oh my goodness, yeah. If they're not...
It's not about the greatness of your content, because as we just demonstrated, what you think is going to be meaningful for them, they might pull something out, just a little thorn in their side. You know, you're trying to basically grow them a new arm, and they just need a little thorn to pull out of their side, right? So,
and you find that this is working or not working based on the engagements of the comments under the video.
Yeah.
When they say things like, great video, thank you, you guys rock, great video, thank you. They're not consuming your content.
No,
they're
that's
being
right.
gracious.
That's exactly. They're being polite.
Yes.
Right.
When you see things like, oh my goodness, ugly duckling singing swan song. I don't know what it is, but that and you know that's 27 minutes in the video. These are the things that you want to realize. They're quoting things in the video at certain points, and then talking about how it relates to them. Then you know that they're consuming your content. Getting your JV partners on board, getting your Facebook ads, your retargeting, all those things. And if you're looking at your analytics and you're in a pre-launch, you can say, yeah, we got opt-ins. That's the one thing. But what's happening when they're looking at the video?
When they watch the video, right.
Are they consuming the content?
Consuming, not just watching it. Is it having relevance to them? Are they getting takeaways, right? What's the takeaway? And that's the one thing whenever we write scripts, Mike and I look at it at a paragraph at a time, not a page at a time, a paragraph at a time. We say, what's the takeaway that we want them to get here if they consume this content, right?
Yes, and if you're looking at your analytics and saying, hey, high five, we got 5,400 hits today, that's great, that's the starting point. But there's something the analytics isn't going to give you necessarily. You can even see how long they watch the video, but those comments are going to tell you how engaged they are. When there's,
I remember we started to see hashtags in the Facebook comments, go where you're celebrated, not just tolerated, hashtag Videogenesis.
We had our fun part of that video, and then we had a 17-minute behind the scenes, what we call the Siskel and Ebert,
where we
breaking down a video.
Bad videos and the good videos.
Go where you're celebrated was at the end.
That's
that
right.
was at the end.
That's
That was summarizing. Me asking you the question about, hey, what if that's a little edgy?
Right.
A
little edgy. Yeah. Damn, imagine that.
And Andy said, Mike, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. People were putting that in hashtags.
Yeah. And so the takeaway is, if we're going to do it again, we're going to give them content out the wazoo, because that's how we roll, and we're not afraid. But our differential is going to be finding ways to get them to consume more of what's there.
Yeah,
and so that's the level up for us.
I'm going to break off the scope here, but it's an important thing. There's usually a 2 or 3 part video process in a pre-launch.
Yeah.
Your next video, you have to recap this stuff, and you must say, if you didn't read the free report we gave away, or if you didn't see video 1, don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid to say,
go get it!
Stop this video, go back and watch that first, because you can't have people jump in the middle of a movie and have sympathy for the character or anything. So you have to get them to consume your message in order for the big payoff.
In the last episode of The Newsroom, in the last episode of Lost, previously
on Spartacus.
Right, and so the takeaway is get them to consume, and
if they can't recap, that's a good point right there. If you're afraid maybe they won't go back, because sometimes they don't, do a quick little recap.
Yeah, right, hit it on the nose, right? Say on the nose, this is what you learned in the last video, and if they didn't watch it, they'll be like, you mean I learned that? I need to go watch that. Consumption is the key in all of our analytics and split testing. And just to put this into context, we had 1 million page views during the Videogenesis launch. And we discovered that every time we had a significant or amazing lift in our conversion rate, it was always because what we did to get people to read that much closer into our stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the things that we would do. So in the interest of trying to get them to consume more content, we do something called pre-market agitation, right? So we get out into the marketplace and we drop some bombs before we actually start releasing the pre-launch videos and start to talk to them. If we can pull it off, the agitation that we have planned for our next product should create some interest in consuming what comes next. Yeah. All right, so for example, release a trailer that summarizes what they're going to learn in the video. This is coming. Many of you see a trailer before you go and see the movie. But you also get the equivalent of that if you haven't seen the trailer from a friend. Hey, have you seen Elysium? Hey, have you seen The Butler?
And they give you the premise without giving it away.
They give you the trailer, basically, right, in their own mind. And then what they also do is they give you their impression of it, right, which is based on whether or not they've seen it or seen the trailer.
Right.
So they're obviously not going to take you to the movie if they've already seen it.
They're going to tell you why you need to see it.
Yes, that's exactly right. So a little trailer, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, which basically encapsulates everything. They're fun to edit. You know, you can have music, you can do fun things with that. We know that that's something that we didn't have enough time to do with Video Genesis because we were going so fast.
Yeah, at the beginning, before we launched.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now here's another thing. Again, this is about consumption. I know it seems like it's about advertising, but it's not. We would start an immediate retargeting campaign that offers a free premium. And first of all, explain to them a retargeting campaign, and then I'll explain the strategy.
Basically, retargeting is an incredible technology in paid advertising that allows you to advertise to people in a frame and context that have visited your site.
Based on some sort of previous activity.
Yeah, so exactly. So basically, the best way that I could explain it, as we have an autoresponder in our marketing, meaning we know that somebody came to this page or an exit pop. So I'll draw the parallel first, and I will call this the exit pop, right? Here's an opt-in that was selling this video right here. We would have an email sequence following up here. We know that they closed the page and we put a big wait exit pop here. This is a different frame. Right? We know they didn't go in our funnel and consume our content. We would have a separate autoresponder series that goes on here. So as you could understand, depending on, and then this person bought the product, well, we're not going to follow up with email, right? We're going to follow up with a different type of, hey, make sure you're consuming our content. So the same way that you would have a different type of follow-up campaign, you can also do the same thing by tracking a little pixel on certain pages in your marketing, and then you can advertise on places like Facebook or MSN or the Huffington Post with a little ad that is geared towards where they were in your marketing. It's called retargeting.
All right, so let me tell you how we would do it, guys. So we've got our viewer, right? And our viewer comes to our launch page and they're watching our launch video for the first time. And we have, of course, our Facebook comments all down here. And what do? They click the like button. They like us. So now here's what we would do, because we learned this in Video Genesis. We did a retargeting campaign after the card had opened. And the results were unbelievable. We did a whole episode inside of Genesis Labs about this. It cost us about 78 cents to get a customer. Not a click, not a lead. Like 78 cents to get somebody to buy our $300 product.
Yeah.
So they click the like button. Then what we do is we start a retargeting campaign immediately, right? So now they're cruising along on Facebook, and Facebook with the retargeting technology says, oh, hey, this person is the same person that clicked the like on Mike and Andy's landing page. So now we're going to show an ad that says, thanks for liking our Video Genesis pre-launch video.
Right, exactly. It's
right now they're like, wait a minute, how did they know? Oh, damn, these guys are on. Now what's cool about that?
Or an ad like, since you liked our page, you'll love this video.
So it's market to message match at the most profound level. You have read their mind. You know what they're doing. Now imagine if this, guys, wasn't just on like Facebook. What if this was on MSN, right? Some giant mainstream site which you can get cheap retargeting traffic on, and they see they're over here, maybe they're using Outlook.com to manage their email. They go to MSN and they see that retargeting ad. Hey, thanks for liking that. Or since you like that, we have a free gift for you for liking Mike and Andy's Video Genesis product launch or launch video.
Or 3 months later.
Yes.
You can say, attention Video Genesis customers. X Genesis just came out. Use this coupon code. Get it before anyone else.
That's right. A discount on the upgrade. Whatever it is, the point is, we know who this person is. They're important. We've already proved from analytics that they're worth a lot of money.
I'll give you another metric on that. When you said what it cost us to get the visitors, what it resulted to us was a $44 earning per click.
Per click.
So in terms of EPC, they call it, a dollar EPC rules mass media. When you're communicating to your affiliates, $3 EPC to an affiliate is the holy grail. We were doing somewhere around $7 to $10 a click with our affiliates. This was our best affiliate by far, was the retargeter. It was getting us $44 for every click on a Facebook ad. We were earning $44 in
So
profit.
what did that tell us? It told us that people that liked our page were very valuable. So what do we want to do? Get this person in front of more messages, right? More messages in front of them, and get them on a very specific email list that treats them like gold. Not that, I mean, we treat people real well. We give a lot of great content.
These people,
they get a special message.
This is all about getting them to consume the content.
Yes.
At the end of our videos, we bring it back down. The music got slow. It was like, thanks so much for watching this. In the next video, we're going to share this. But in the meantime, if you like what we had, please do us a favor. Smash that like button below. Give us a thump and hit the like button. We'd really appreciate it. So we knew that the like button was we were getting most of the likes, the afterthought, okay, I'll do that for you, after they consumed our content.
Right.
Retargeting those people were the people, no wonder why it was.
They watched the entire video, made a decision that this was likable. Those people were our best prospect. When we, and guys, just to give you some insight, when we went back and looked at the people that bought our product, 99% of people that bought our product had also liked us somewhere on Facebook.
Are you learning something?
All right, so here's the takeaway. Immediately, we would start to retarget people that had interacted with us in a positive way, and then get them onto a new list by giving them more great information so we could start talking to them very specifically.
As you say, segment the hell out of that list.
That's right.
And not just in terms of your follow-up, but these little tags allow you to be able to retarget them at any given point in time.
That's right.
6 months later, 6 days later, whatever the case is, you want to be able to have that data. Who are the most engaged people in Video Genesis are probably going to be the most engaged people in our next product.
Well, I mean, and the other thing is you can set all kinds of parameters with retargeting. And look, we like retargeting. We like all forms of advertising that's effective. But we could say, you know what? If they liked and left a comment, they get a different message altogether, because we know that those people are hyper engaged. And in fact, as it turns out, we had about as many comments as we had customers, right? Isn't that interesting? All right, so, and here's the last thing that we would do to level up. We would create something called interstitial videos, okay? Interstitial simply means in between. So we've got our big, massive product launch videos that we did for Video Genesis. These are our hero videos. These are our big videos that we invest a bunch of time, effort, and energy into. And then what happens is we lead capture people that come and watch those videos, so they get on our email list so that we can give them ongoing information like this. And what we would do differently that we did not have time to do, we could also probably put this in the fail column. We didn't communicate with the people that joined our list very well during the Video Genesis launch.
So Andy's talking about creating specific content only for the people that consumed the launch content.
That's right.
It's not asset content that you're having your affiliates mail to, because these videos would be out of context to somebody that hasn't seen the video. So
we've got launch video 1, launch video 2, launch video 3, launch video 4. These were released about 6 to 8 days apart, right? And we might have sent an email in between that.
Fail.
What we will do next time is...
And what you should always do...
is, now remember, these are out there, being consumed by the public, and then you've got people that are essentially your email subscribers. Now they're under this layer. What are they doing between here and here? Well, in our case, because we're dumb, they were doing nothing. They were sitting around waiting for the next video.
Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait. So what we would do is we would create these interstitial videos, which would be pure content videos, probably 10 minutes long. They would probably be very similar to something like this, sort of like some free-flowing content.
Exactly.
That would drill down further into the information that we just taught them, give them the real tactical details, and those videos would probably come smack dab in the middle.
It's engagement and additional training.
That's right. So now we go from these amazing, we call them hero videos, to these interstitial videos. Look at how much content we're giving away for free. Let me tell you, it causes more consumption. And here's something that we learned, guys. The least amount of content that's going to be consumed by your customer is the high-end strategic big picture stuff, right? There's a place for it. What they take notes on is the nuts and bolts tactics stuff. Press this button, count to 3, spin around, throw salt over your shoulder, and all of a sudden, poof, you lose 30 pounds. They want that nuts and bolts stuff. That's what these are for.
And where you can get these things comes from a myriad of different places.
Did you say myriad?
Yes, I did.
Myriad. I love it.
I love wines. No wine. These things can come from your previous videos.
Yep.
Right? They can come from a Google Hangout you did with someone, and you're like, wow, I would love everybody to see that. You can intentionally have a Google Hangout for the people that saw these videos.
Or you could turn on your web camera, stand in front of a whiteboard, and do what we're doing right now.
Yeah, just break down some of the stuff can even come from the comments. Hey, can you break down how you did that little blah, blah, blah?
That's it right there. Yeah. Hey, and you basically say to guys, you could even put in the comments, hey guys, if you're on the list, I just released a video answering this comment. We had a bunch of comments in Video Genesis where people were like, hey dude, where did you get that cool stand-up desk that would go up and down? I mean, I literally could have made a whole video about that. Obviously, that would have been a good use of time, but there were lots of these little things which were, Andy, what about the lights? Mike, what about, what software did you use for the camera? Those are using comments to generate these videos, these interstitial videos, and I should probably put
I'll tell you a great way to do this. We did a great job doing this with daily Hangouts during the launch.
That's right.
If you want to take your comments and take these customers only and do a Hangout every other day, or a live cast every other day, or a live webinar every other day, and answer the questions that they're having on the blog, that's a great way to engage with the people that are consuming the content.
Yeah, so our basically what we did is we created these on the fly by having live broadcasts via our YouTube Live account. The diminishing return in that was because it took place at a certain amount of time, there's always this concept that people are going to miss it. So in retrospect, would have loved to have pre-made those and then had them available as a video on the landing page versus saying, hey, it's at 6 o'clock.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though we did replays and stuff. So that's how we would level up.
Yeah.
That's how we would level up. That's it.
That's it.
That's it for one video. One, just the first video and stuff.
Was that 6 minutes?
Yeah. Sorry about the sparsity, the lack of content here in this one, guys.
Yeah, we'll try to get to 7 minutes next time. Because 7 is everything.
Well, we'll do more planning. Maybe we'll do a better job on putting a mind map together and styling or something.
Exactly.
Hey, we've missed you. We're glad to be back. We're very excited to see you in the next video.
Yes.
And guys, if you want more information, there is a link under this video that's got a link to some more videos about product launches. And
make sure to click that link. It's more information. And as we just said before, do us a favor. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought, that you consumed this message all the way to the end.
There you go.
And
maybe we'll look at the comments and make some interstitial videos.
Yeah. Let us know you saw this video. Put a hashtag duck. We like ducks. So hashtag duck. Then we'll know that you saw this.
That's a solid marketing idea.
And hit the like button and share this on social media if you enjoyed it and you want other people to see it.
That's it.
Share the love. We'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next training video.
Thank you, partner. Guys, see you soon.